Hi guys, my name is Roshali and I hope you all are doing great with your preparations for your CA Foundation paper. All the papers, I'm here to help you with CA Foundation paper 2 law and business correspondence reporting. I'll help you with how you can score 60 plus marks in your paper. How we should be tackling all the content of this paper and which questions we need to keep in mind, which are the scoring ones. Okay. Let's see a few things about it. So this is how your paper is distributed. Okay, paper 2, business law and business correspondence reporting is distributed into 2 parts. Business laws comes for 60 marks, like after excluding the options, you get 60 marks to score from this. And for BCR subject, business correspondence reporting, you get 40 marks to score, excluding your options. Okay, I hope you are clear till here. Yes. So coming with the business laws, the things are we can score 15 to 20 marks in the contract act. The major and the key chapter which will give you scoring marks is your contract act. Then we have a simple chapter, sale of goods act, which will give you yet another important chapter for you to remember, which gives you 12 marks. So very important for us. Then we have our partnership chapter, partnership act, which will give us 10 marks. LLP, Limited Liability Partnership Act. Short, one question is there. 5 marks, undoubtedly you'll get it. You have to revise it. You have to remember this one to get 5 marks. And then the last chapter, which is scoring, it goes from minimum 10 marks. Minimum 10 marks you can expect from this chapter, Companies Act. Okay. This is where we cover major 60 marks of our syllabus. Right? So this 60 marks, how we are going to cover, which units you need to keep in mind is important for you. Suppose we are studying the Contract Act. Okay. If I am studying about the Contract Act, which chapters should I be knowing? I should be well versed with unit number 2, 3, and 4. Okay. For this, we can say we need to be short with 2, 3, and 4. Coming to the Sale of Goods Act, we should be well versed with 2 and 3. You can expect major questions from these units. Contract Act, Unit 2, 3, and 4. And in Sale of Goods Act, 2 and 3. Then your Partnership Act, here also Unit 2 and 3 is most important. LLP entire chapter is important. 5 marks, 1 question, every attempt it is there. Okay. Companies Act, everything you have to remember. All the provisions are simple and easy to remember. So this entirely you have to remember. No important or what you could say is very key, crucial and always expected ones. Here you have to remember everything. They can ask you anything. They have a scope over here to ask you about anything. Okay. I hope we are clear with the business laws, how we have to see where the marks is distributed. Okay. Coming to your BCR subject, you can see communication chapter. There you can definitely score 10 marks. Okay. Note making, compulsory question. There you can score 3 to 5 marks. Then we have your again passage writing. A passage is given to you and you have to write the questions which are given to you. So that is where you score 5 marks. This is short. Note making, you'll be given a passage. This is short. Communication is somewhere you'll have to work. You'll have to remember the answers. That is very much important for you to remember the answers. Then again, important one is precise writing, 5 marks, expected always. So we can see here only we are majorly covering 20 marks. Okay. 20 marks are covered over here. Then we also have the options like article writing, which is very much important. 5 marks. Again, you can score here. If you are lucky enough, they'll also give you email writing. Email writing also gives you 5 marks. So 20, 25 marks. Short we can get here. This Contract Act, 10 marks if we expect over here. 10 over here. Sale of Goods Act, 10 over here. Then Partnership Act, we can expect 8 from you. Again, if we go LLP, 5 marks. Everything you learn, that is important. Companies Act, 10 marks if you do. All this will give you definitely 60 marks. Okay. All these things will help you to answer your paper and score minimum 50 to 60 marks in the examination. Now, there are varied questions which come into your picture when it comes to your business laws and your questions relating to business correspondence and reporting. When it comes to business laws, what we have two type of questions. One is your provision based questions and one is your case study based question. Okay. Now, provision based question can be around for 25 to 35 marks, and similar way here it will be 30 to 35 marks. Okay. That is how your paper part one of this subject is divided. Now, case study questions are must to attempt. You have to attempt them first. You have 15 minutes before your paper. While this 15 minutes you have to read the paper thoroughly. See which case studies you know very well. You have to go for those answers because case studies are scoring always. Case studies give you good marks always. So we have to see which case study questions we get the best mark, and then the provision based questions you have to see which one you know. That is how you decide the sequence of the questions. Okay, I hope I'm clear till here, like how we have to go. And in this, I'll also tell you about how you have to prepare for your 1.5 day before your examination. After you come from your accounts paper, how you have to prepare, that also strategy I'll give you, okay, at the end of this session. So we have noticed that Contract Act, Companies Act are your major scoring chapters. So here you have to keep in mind that which case study, which relevant law, and which relevant provision you recall at that time, that questions you have to attempt at first. Okay. Now, as I have observed or as I have seen in the previous ones, I could see that with the Contract Act, sorry, we have almost got 20 to 25 marks in June paper. Okay. This was there in June 23. Yeah, so for June 23, we have almost seen that we can score 20. There were questions based on it for 20 to 25 marks. You can easily score 20 to 25 marks over there. Okay. Then with this was relating to June 23. We can write it over here, June 23. Then Contract Act again in your December 23. Now, December 23. It was again for 22 marks. See, 20, 25, 22. These major marks are there in your paper with this one. So we have to be thorough with the provisions of Contract Act. In that also, I told you that unit number 2, 3, and 4. These are important. Okay, these are must to do in this particular chapter. Unit 2, 3, 4, these are the scoring ones. You can score 10 to 15 marks very easily from this one. Okay. Now, then we go ahead with with the other chapters given in June 2023 and December 2023. Then we have your Companies Act. It has been given for around 13 marks in June 23. Then we have been given for around 18 marks in your December 23. Right? You can see minimum 10, minimum 12 or 13 marks are there always. Okay. So here you can see that we can score 10 marks. Very nicely we can score 10 marks over here. Coming to the other one, that is Sale of Goods Act, always ask for 10 marks. June 23. December 23, 10 marks was minimum. It can go to 15 marks also. If you do this chapter, very simple chapter, 10 marks, you can always score 8 over here. If you are correct with the provision, correct with the facts of the case, you have correctly written all these things, you will be able to score 8 to 10 marks over here. Okay, 8 marks we can short consider from here. Now, we are still left with many things. 10 marks in our 10 to 15 marks in our Contract Act. Then with the companies, we have got 10 again, 20, 8 marks in Sale of Goods Act. 2 more acts are left. So undoubtedly, we can score 50 over here. Then comes your LLP. LLP 5 marks, very simple, easy to remember, and the questions are straightforward. So you have to remember this. This chapter is definitely going to come. Every time we have expected a question from it, and it has been given. In every paper you see of June 23, December 23, one question for 5 marks is there always. Okay, so you have to be thorough with LLP. Very easy chapter, a small chapter which will give you good marks. Scoring chapter. Then we have your Partnership Act. Okay, Partnership Act 16 marks in June 23 and December 23 also 16 marks. Okay, so you can see 10 to 15 marks is there and you can easily score 10 marks over here. All the correct provisions and you can score 10 marks over here with Partnership Act. I hope we are clear with how we have to go for the first paper, first part of this paper, paper 2, section A, that is business laws. Okay, 40 marks is minimum which we can score, and if you go ahead, you'll be able to score more. See, we saw with the Contract Act 10, right? With the contract, then with companies 10, 8 over here, 5 over here, and this over here. Nearly 35 to 40 marks you can score easily if you are well versed with every provision. Okay, short you can score 35 to 40 marks very nicely if you write all these things, the provisions correctly, giving reference point-wise answers. You can score 35 to 40 marks in your first business law paper. Here you have won half of your battle, right? You have got the minimum marks for clearing the subject. Now we have to score for the extra marks, for the exemption, 60 plus marks, how we can score. That we are going to do with the business correspondence and reporting subject. Let's see how we are going to go for it. Now, in your business correspondence and reporting subject, there are few chapters which are like compulsorily there in your paper. First one is your communication. 10 marks always. In December 23, June 23, always they have asked you for 10 marks. You have to be thorough with the concepts, then you can write these answers. Here, type of questions, what they ask is, some are your direct questions, right? And the other ones are like comment on it, right? Write your comment on this statement. So these type of questions they'll ask you. 10 marks is minimum. And if we prepare well, we can score around 7 to 8 marks over here. Okay. Undoubtedly, you can score 7 to 8 marks if you are thorough with the concept. Then your first question is always the unseen passage. Okay. With unseen passage, you have to give the answers to the question. That is very easy. 5 marks. These are your free marks, you can say. These marks, the examiner is giving you. Okay, see, go through the passage, write the answer. 3 marks we are getting. Then again, in the question number 7, this was 7A. And then we have 7B, which includes your unseen passage again. But you have to make the notes over here. Note making always comes for 3 marks. Sometimes they may ask you for 5 marks also. Okay. It is not necessary they'll ask you for 5 marks. But 3 marks is what they have asked in the previous 3-4 attempts which I have observed. Then we have your next one. In this only question number 7, compulsory question, we have your summary writing. That comes for 2 marks again. These 10 marks, if I tell you, these entire 10 marks are your free marks, right? 10 marks are your free marks. So 10 marks we have scored here. 40 in our law, we are expecting 10 over here. Communication, if we do 7 marks, we can expect 17, 57 total we have got. There are a few more things which are left, which are compulsory and we can score. This is where we are reaching near to our 60 target, 60 plus target. Okay, I hope this is clear. Unseen passage for 5 marks. All the questions will be based on the passage that you read. You have to just answer them and get your marks. Then we have note making. A passage will be given. Read the passage, summarize it, and make the notes out of it. Summary making gives you 2 marks and note making gives you 3 marks. 10 over here and 7 marks we can expect in communication if we are thorough with the concepts. That is where we have scored our 17 marks. And we are still left with a lot of paper. This was only 20 marks paper. We are still left with 20 marks paper. Okay. Now, next what we have is your note making is done. Precise writing. Observed 5 marks compulsory in December 23 and your June 23. Then your November 22. Okay. Compulsorily this question is there. We have your grammar, the easiest thing that we have learned. We have been learning from ages. We have been learning from the school time also. Grammar comes for around 5 to 8 marks. There also, you can expect that 5 marks you can score. Precise writing, if you are thorough with it, how you can write it, that will give you short 5 marks. Out of 5, the examiner will at least give you 4 marks, right? At least you can score 4 out of this one. So this is what we can score from precise. And with the grammar, if we are thorough, we can always score 5 marks, right? 5 marks is what is one can expect from precise writing, from grammar, and from precise writing, 4 marks you can expect. Grammar, there is your vocab also. See, after this, vocab comes for around 5 marks. There, if you are thorough, you can at least score, like if you're not sure about all the words also, at least you can score 2 marks. Where they give you multiple choice questions, if you're thinking that somewhat you know the answer or this can be an answer, you just predict that this can be an answer, give the answer. There's no negative marking, na? So you can always attempt that question. You can always give the answer to that question. Okay, then we have article writing or email writing. This has been observed that in June 2023, they had given email writing for 5 marks. And in December 23, they had given article writing for 5 marks. So also in December 23, there was email also given for 4 marks. So 5 to 10 marks you can expect from this one. If we scored this 5 marks, our best. This is the 5 marks, this we score best. We are already 65 and plus. We have already scored 65 and plus. 57 was still here. And after this, we saw that in precise writing, if we get 4 marks, that will be 61. Grammar, if we get 4 marks, 65. 2 marks in vocab, 67. And in this 5, also, if we expect 3 marks, we are at 70 marks already. That is our target. That is what we are going to score. Considering all things, like if something may go wrong and all, you will come to 60 at least. That is our target. 60, 65 is our target always. Okay. I hope this bifurcation of the chapters and understanding which all chapters are important for you has helped you. Resume writing also, they ask you for 4 marks. So either you will get an email question or you will get article or resume writing. Also, they have one more option of minute writing, but that has been observed that it is not very frequently asked. They mostly ask for your email, article. Precise writing is compulsory always. And your email, article, resume writing, cover letter, or etc. with the resume. This has been observed to be mostly asked. See, so you can say that this is very important for you to score the marks. We have to remember with the Contract Act, major marks in business laws. Then comes your Partnership Act, 10 marks. Sale of Goods Act, 10 to 15 marks. LLP Act, every time 5 marks question is expected. Companies Act, 13 marks are there. You can expect 8 marks. Like you can score 8 marks very nicely if you're well aware. First, it is important to identify which case study questions you are well aware about, and you have to attempt it. Case study questions give you the good marks. Always remember. Okay. Grammar thing, easily you can solve. 5 to 8 marks questions will be there. You can score minimum 5 over there. It is very easy to score 5 marks over. Precise writing, compulsory question, always observed in all the previous attempts. Out of 5, write your best and be precise with it, scoring 4 marks. Vocabulary, if they ask you 5 to 7 marks also, minimum you'll score 2 marks, right? Article, email writing, we are expecting here the basic 3 marks only. Then also you can score 70 marks. Okay. Communication chapter, you have to be thorough. They ask you for 10 marks. If we expect 6 to 7 marks over there, then with your unseen passages, these are your free marks. Unseen passages, always remember, are your free marks. Unseen passage 1 is going to be given. On basis of that, 5 questions will be given. Or they can ask you in 3 questions, 2 marks each, 2 questions and 1 mark 1. Or they can ask you 5 questions, 1 mark each. That is going to give you 5 marks. And then we have your unseen passage number 2, based on which you have to make your notes. Note making is minimum 3 marks, maximum that can go to 5 marks. Along with note making, they also ask you to write summary. It has been observed in December and June 23, note making question was there. It was given for 3 marks, and out of this 3 marks, you have to score 3 out of 3. You can maximum score 2.5, or also you can score 3. If you have made all the things correctly, all points, if you have included in your notes, you have presented well, you can score 3 on 3 also, if you write all things correct and in proper manner. Then comes your summary writing. 2 marks question. We can write nicely in a summarized form. All the key points are to be written. There also you can score 2 marks. If not 2, let's just see that we can score 1 to 1.5 marks also. Okay. Considering all these aspects, we are already at 70. So if something goes wrong or anything you miss out or you are skipped, so you'll get at least 60 marks. That is way too good for paper number 2, which will help you to boost your morale for the remaining papers also. Okay, I hope we are clear with how we have to score 60 plus marks, which chapters we need to keep in mind to score 60 plus marks. Okay. Okay, I hope all things are clear to you, and we have covered major things which will help you to score 60 plus in your law and business correspondence reporting subject, right? So hoping all the things go positive with you for your preparation and prepare really well. You can score undoubtedly 60 plus marks in your law paper. All the very best for your examination. I'll see you next time.